So everything is ready?
Yes.
Andrei, you're ready? I shuffle for the last time. And we start.
It's an important moment.
Yes, very important.
Okay, we go.
What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? And welcome to the fourth installment of the Hora Blaugrana Podcast. Today we got several talking points that we need to go over, including the Super Champions League the ECA have recently approved, my take on, evolving football, and why I believe Messi won't ever win anything with his country. Before starting off this video, please remember to subscribe for more footballing content and drop us a like if you enjoy this format of videos. I'm planning to do them a little bit more consistently because certainly there's a number of topics that just leave so much more to talk about than what I can fit into a normal video. Also check out our friends at Golazo Jersey. They can make quality footballing kits from all areas and also provide a worldwide shipping, which is one of the best things I can recommend about them. All links and info are going to be in the description down below. So if you didn't know already, for many years now, UEFA has been plotting a revolutionary competition for the elitest of teams in Europe, a Super Champions League. Certainly the sellable idea for this new enhanced Champions League is for consumers to witness top European clashes more frequently, just than in the knockout stages of the basic UCL. But yes, this would certainly also bring more money to their pockets. Unsurprisingly, the ECA approved the idea of this tournament, the ECA being the European Club Association made up by the biggest clubs in Europe, Barcelona, Bayern Múnich, all the way to teams like Steaua Bucharest. The main problem with this competition is that it would only suit those already existing elite clubs, as they would be the only ones who would be able to participate in this competition. The Super Champions League would be the premiere in 2024 and would work as following. The competition would host 32 teams divided into 4 groups of 8. First, there would be a list of 16 clubs which would qualify, no questions asked, every season based on their elite status. The remaining 16 teams at the moment of recording this audio are still up in the air. Discussions will be held whether these remaining teams would have the same treatment as the first batch or whether they would need to qualify to this competition. The list of the 16 clubs which would qualify is gonna be the following: Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Chelsea, Arsenal, PSG, Manchester City, Liverpool, Milan, Atlético de Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Olympique de Marseille, Inter, and Roma. And yes, there are some big omissions in this list. Certainly, I believe that teams like Porto, Benfica, Lyon, Monaco, Ajax, Napoli, and even Tottenham should deserve a shout in this one. But I don't decide that. This competition wouldn't affect the Champions League or the Europa League in any way, shape, or form because these games would be played in the weekends. Consequently, the ECA and UEFA would be looking into pushing domestic league fixtures in the midweek to open up space. So La Liga Serie A would be played on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or even Thursdays. As much as the idea of having more frequent matches like Bayern Munich versus Manchester City sounds, hella good. As a fan of football, which is all about inclusion, football is about just getting anything you can and playing with it. How many times have you played football in a field, putting your shoes down, acting like goalpost, and then just playing with, a water bottle? That's what football is all about, Football is a universal sport, and for me, inclusion is the most important thing. So I don't support the creation of this competition. UEFA would be basically making the richer richer whilst the poor poorer, and I'm 100% against that. Moreover, this competition will create immense amounts of fatigue in all of the players with constant travels from 1 and 2 countries all around Europe, and I don't really see the Super Champions happening. I honestly don't. Tell me in the comment box down below now, what do you think about this competition? This is the news part section of this video, because now I'm gonna give you my take on the Super Champions League.
Barcelona.
So, Barcelona is the first team drawn, the 5-time winners of the Champions League, last time in 2015. And for Barcelona,
AS Roma.
For Barcelona, we have AS Roma.
I understand understand the idea to change and evolve football, because in some ways it can be argued that it's outdated, but there are other ways to do so. If it was up to me, I would do the following. And trust me when I say that I have spent some time on this. This is the reason why I didn't post yesterday. I was trying, well, to change football. My idea goes as follows. To even think about a Super Champions, we need to first address schedule and time of football competitions around Europe and around the world. Right now we have a selection of 8 kinds of competitions a football player can participate in a year. Those are the UEFA Super Cup, the Supercopa or the Community Shield, those competitions, the Champions League, the Europa League, their domestic league and cup, and finally a potential continental cup like the Euros or la Copa America or the Confederations Cup, as well as ultimately the World Cup. Those are so many competitions. I don't know if there are any other types of sports which has this tight of a calendar. If we add to that international friendlies, which in my eyes serve absolutely zero purpose, the calendar of a footballer is just too much. To be able to feed as Super Champions, I would first eliminate the latter and remove international breaks completely and push all international activities between the month of May, June to August and September. In this month, international competitions will take place. And since a World Cup, Confederations and Continental Cup can all happen within the same year, it will be perfect. In addition to this, I would push all Continental Cups to be held all within the same year, and then the Confederations can decide when to play it within the month of May and September. So to give you guys an example, I've developed a roadmap. Let's say that after the year 2022 is when we will see these changes, since in March a new era after the World Cup in Qatar. I would make it so in 2023 no competitions are played and players can enjoy just, a nice vacation. In 2024 I would place all continental cups, so be it the Euros, Asian Cup, the African Cup of Nations, the Copa America, all of them in 2024. In 2025, the Confederation Cups will take place, and then in 2026, eventually, we would see the next World Cup in Mexico, USA, and Canada. This change will allow for national teams to get more time to build their squads, input a philosophy into their football, and progress youth more efficiently. Honestly, this way you can just open so much more space, more room for improvement. You will see more competitive teams because they get to work week in and week out with their squads, and that is something that would just revolutionize football. You have 2 kind of parts to football every year. One part with the national team and one part with the clubs. Another positive thing is that it will bring a completely lighter and more flexible calendar for club competitions later on, allowing us space to introduce the Super Champions. However, my take on the Super Champions is different and it would still be played midweek. I would create a Super Champions with a league format. Firstly, I will have a league of 24 teams that, similarly to the ECA take on the Super Champions, will include a list of preliminary elite sides. In my case, the list will be the following: Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Bayern Múnich, Juventus, Chelsea, Arsenal, PSG, Manchester City, Liverpool, Milan, Atlético de Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Olympique de Marseille, Inter, Roma, Porto, Benfica, Lyon, Monaco, Ajax, Napoli, Tottenham Hotspur, and Valencia. However, in contrast to the Super Champions proposed by the ECA, I would make it so the list of teams only dispute the first edition, and after that there will be normal qualifiers like we see for the Europa League or Champions League. I'll talk more about the placements in the qualifiers later on, but first let's talk about the league format a bit further. The first position, of course, will decide the winner of my Super Champions. From the first position as well all the way down to the 17th position will remain in the competition. They'll have a guaranteed spot in the next season's edition. Whilst the remaining 8 will have to feature in a relegation playoff starting at the quarterfinal stage. Only the winner of the relegation playoff will be the only team capable to remain in this competition for the next edition. Moreover, my ideology is that the best team in the world should be decided by consistency, and that's why there is no playoff at the top of the table, and by that manner that all teams should be given a second chance. More importantly, if we want to keep elite teams to continue producing large amount of money, and I'm thinking like UEFA here, they should all have a second chance, to keep more teams in this competition. It will still create an amazing matches, because in the playoff we could see a team like, Arsenal struggling to battle out against like a team like Napoli, and that's still an amazing game. Just the stakes will be absolutely superb. The way though I am differentiating my competition to those of the ECA is that I do give an opportunity for smaller teams to reach my Super Champions. Like I said, football is about inclusion. To qualify is another matter entirely. The only way to get direct access would be by winning your league, by finishing within the first 4 spots, like La Liga, for example. And also, I will be saying that the winner of the domestic cup will also have a place in this competition. The domestic cup is currently an undervalued, and big clubs don't carry it anymore. By making this cup a direct entry to the Super Champions, the value increases drastically, and we will see bigger games in La Copa del Rey, La Copa Italia, and competitions of that manner. In addition to this, since it's only one place, it ensures that the teams that wins it is very competitive and really does not detract from the spectacle of the Super Champions. For instance, in the past and current years, teams like Eintracht Frankfurt will be able to qualify, as well as Valencia if they hypothetically beat Barcelona this year, or even teams like Lazio and Fiorentina that could be joining based on the Coppa Italia this season as well. These are all teams that on their day they can create an amazing game, and that's why the Super Champions is all about. I believe that a team like Lazio could upset a team like Bayern, I don't know, someday. But the problem why people don't believe this is because we don't see them meet ever. And well, the Super Champions is going to be where they are going to do so. But it's not going to be the only way they're going to meet, as there would be normal preliminary qualifiers like in the Champions League. Before the final list of 7 teams that enter each year, we can have a knockout tie where we have a pot of qualifiers from the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th spot respectively, or runner-ups from the domestic cup as well. We could see games in this qualifier like a Sevilla versus Milan or Mönchengladbach versus Lyon, which yes are not super matches but are still very, very quality nonetheless. If teams in the top 4 are already in the competition, then I would also open up space for the 5th spot, or I'll also distribute those placements around Europe. A team like Shakhtar Donetsk should have a chance to participate in the qualifiers, and so teams like Olympiacos at least a time in a while. By having qualifiers open to this competition, we keep a narrow selection of elite teams by a hard qualifying process, and then we also give opportunity for some other smaller teams to join in the fun. And most importantly, it's super fair. If a team like Lazio, let's say, stays in the competition, in the Super Champions, consistently for 3 years and continues to do so, then the stature of the club would increase. That the team would make more money from more top matches, as more fans would be encouraged to see their favorite team play against a Manchester United. I don't know. More t-shirts will be sold. There will be more money for the smaller teams, more money for the bigger teams, and everybody wins. With this type of competition, we're not only innovating football, but also we're making it better. So now, guys, I'm gonna make a poll for you guys to decide what kind of competition you would like to see: my Super Champions or the Super Champion the ECA is trying to propose by 2024. In all honesty, I do not mind the Super Champions. I really don't, because honestly, I would like Barcelona to play against a big team, once every 2 weeks. Of course, I would like to do so, but the problem is that right now, football the state it is, we got so many gaps where there's just too much fatigue that's gonna be created. And for me, the most important thing is that smaller clubs, they always have to be included. And by the ways that I have suggested in my proposal for my Super Champions, I would say that they have a fair chance. They really do, and you would still keep quality games, because a team like Inter and Milan right now, they may be amazing, but a team like City can easily beat a team like Milan nowadays. You could argue the same, that City can beat a team like Sevilla easily, but then again, a team like Sevilla against a team like Milan, the quality there of a game would be absolutely superb, you know? So those are the type of things that we have to take into account, because if we're adding teams like Olympique de Marsella, I'm suggesting that a team like Valencia is better than them, and that's completely unfair. By doing this way of having qualifiers, still having teams to qualify into this manner, that would be absolutely wonderful. And also by the league format, I believe that you can see, like I said before, which team is actually the best in Europe, because the Champions League is absolute bullshit. I don't care what you say, it's absolute bullshit. 7 games don't demonstrate absolutely anything, and by having matches week in, week out, you can really see which team is the best in Europe. So for me, my take on the Super Champions would be the best.
Fue impresentable la selección argentina, porque también les cabe a los jugadores, ¿sí? Cuando yo leí en este último tiempo que me cuesta decir que es el técnico de la selección argentina, para mí es una improvisación, para mí es un técnico que está de paso. Y será bueno que el señor Tapia hoy recapacite. Tapia, está a tiempo de recapacitar para que no vayamos a otro fracaso, porque además Messi va a seguir siendo más grande, va a jugar siempre bien, porque lo poquito que mostró la Argentina salió de los pies de Messi. Y por supuesto que todavía nos sigue deleitando con lo que vemos en Barcelona todos los fines de semana. no lo acaben a Messi. El fútbol argentino que no tiene que acabar a Messi. El público, el medio no tiene que terminar con Messi, por favor.
Mucha mala intención. Que él, el que volvía, no tiene nada que ver. No tiene responsabilidad alguna en esto. Lo exculpo, lo excluyo del análisis que estoy haciendo. No se puede ser presidente de la AFA o vicepresidente y ser alcahuete de los futbolistas. No se puede. No se puede, no va de la mano, está prohibido. No va. Hay que ponerse el traje, hay que ponerse un saco, no la ropa de los jugadores. Una camisa, no la ropa del futbolista, no la misma ropa de entrenamiento. No sos su amigo.
And finally, a bit of conversation. Let's talk about Argentina and Messi. Why does Argentina suck? For me, it's honestly very, very clear. Argentina doesn't have a plan, and most importantly, the media doesn't help. Why should Messi be held responsible for the national team's actions? Is response porque él es el líder, porque es el mejor del mundo, so because he's the leader and the best in the world? Really? What the fuck? No, he shouldn't account for that. The pressure that one puts on, well, the best in the world, who is showing nothing but effort, honestly, is sickening. From the part of Argentina's media, but the people say as well, Argentina has an amazing squad like Barça. Why doesn't he play like Barça? Main reason why is because he's not treated the same way, in my opinion, and your team is not as good as Barça. Even the team that went to the World Cup, like Banega, is really, really good, but he's nowhere close like someone like Rakitic. You don't have people like Sergio Busquets who can distribute the way you play, and the style of play simply of both two teams are completely different. Where have you heard also of a club or country where the best player in their position is hated by 50% of the population or fandom? Nowhere. It's absolutely absurd, really. It really, really is. And Messi doesn't talk to media. That's also another reason they put out. The South American media, honestly, is instructed. And I am from there. I'm from Peru, so I know. Trust me when I say this. To find every story is always what they do. They do it negatively. Doesn't matter the ethic or reasoning behind it. And the best example I can give is, for instance, the other day against Malta, Spain played without Luis Enrique in the bench. Why? Because he had a family meeting or something, some emergency, you know? So hopefully he got that resolved. And all hopes and wishes to that everyone, whoever got affected in that situation, well, is just better. But the problem is that if we take it to South America, people will be like, oh, Luis Enrique is faking, he's like I don't know, his wife got sick and he's faking it or whatever. They will find the reason why he missed the game and try to change it completely. That is absolutely just, that's so wrong. That should be illegal, honestly. And it is, it kind of is. It's illegal in a way. Some countries do have that, and you could say it could be kind of like a case of exploiting your persona, something like that. I don't know the real name of it, but I don't really care. I'm not too into that. But yeah, that should be something so bad and shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. They look at everything negatively, and everything that Messi does, honestly. Like, he goes to a baptism. Who cares? Who cares? He's a human being. I go to baptisms. Who the fuck cares? Stop getting into my fucking life. Like, Messi leaves Madrid early in the morning, you know? That's something that also they bring out. And he didn't say apparently goodbye to his teammates. And they say, it's a bad leader. Shut the fuck up. Are you really that stupid? It's like, it's a flight. A flight in the morning. He cannot control freaking air traffic. If it's left early in the morning, who cares? And from reporters I know very, very close to the Argentinian national teams and whose I trust, they are saying that he said goodbye to all of his teammates at a dinner the night before. And more importantly, that he has assumed a role as a leader more than ever now, going to every young individual, be it El Pite Martinez or Montiel, who cares? I don't know. But he's there doing everything, and in return, he gets nothing from the media. And the media really is the people that change the way the public and everything feel towards Messi. That's the only reason why you see 50% of that population hating Lionel Messi. And I got many friends from Argentina, and like 50% of them like Messi, 50% of them don't. And maybe 50% goes like, oh, El Kun Agüero, you know, he sucks. And the other half goes like, Agüero needs to be there. They don't even decide between them. They should just unite and support the best player because they have it. Just work towards it. You should be like, we got the best player in the world. Let's do something with it, you know? Don't try to put the blame on him because he's not the team. This is not freaking tennis. This is football. Football is about a team, and when you have 10 players alongside Lionel Messi, well, working together, then nothing's gonna give. And people bring out the thing of Ronaldo, you know, that Ronaldo won the Euros. Well, Ronaldo played like 50 minutes of the final, and then his team did the rest. That is what teams does. They help each other. If Ronaldo is not there, someone like Eder can pop up and do something. If you listen to the post-match interview of Scaloni, really, after the game against Morocco, he was all over the place. Like, what the fuck? Is he really supposed to be your manager? Really? The Argentina media should be focusing more on Lionel Scaloni and also on Tapia, because they're the fault where they don't have a project. They really, really do not have a project. And they also say, what, Messi doesn't talk. Messi doesn't talk to Argentina because of that same reason, because they're going to manipulate everything he says. And if I'm not wrong with Barcelona, he has only talked like 4 things this season against Lyon, Betis, and Tottenham. Also, yeah, really, they should be focusing on Scaloni and Tapia rather than Messi. The project for Argentina is gone missing. Messi has already taken you to 3 finals, winning them. Well, anything can happen in a final, so who cares? And by the end of this freaking round, I just gotta say, you gotta fix that team, because even though I may say complete shit about here of Argentina, I really do want to see them play good, because they're a superpower, and superpowers are amazing, you know? I want to see Argentina play against Brazil, because that's just an amazing game, but in all honesty, right now, it would be very lackluster, and that's something that I really want to change. If you have put yourself into thinking, this game against Morocco was the last game before La Copa America. Are you serious? This game against Morocco, 1-0 in the last minute, goal from Angel Correa. It's the last goal from, it's the last game for Argentina before the Copa America. That's just so wrong. They should be doing much better. And you don't need to revolutionize football. You don't need to create a Barcelona style for Argentina. Just do something very simple. Go 4-4-2. Go with, I don't know, Armani in goal. Go with Montiel for the right, Sarabia or Mercado. I don't care. Just a right back. Go with Mateo Musacchio doing beats at Milan. If not, Otamendi next to Pesela or Kahneman. I don't care really. Just a normal back 4 with Tyler Fico for the left. Then one player who can defend a little bit in Paredes. Then the other who can attack in Lo Celso. Have a winger which can go out wide and one a little bit more defensive. Go with Angel Correa, the more defensive one, and then for the left you can add, I don't know, someone like Pavón, someone like Epite Martinez, Di Maria even if he's fit, and then a stop, just put Kun Agüero and Messi and have at the bench people like Dybala and Icardi. Super simple team. 4-4-2, organized, you know, just play, you don't need anything else. Messi there, perfect in the middle of the park, close to the ball, close to the area, can score a goal, can dribble, everything good. You got Paredes who can cover up a little bit of space when a counter-attack. Super simple, organized team. Argentina, just try this. For fuck's sake, it's not Messi's fault, and I kinda want to finish my rant here. I don't know what else to say, really. So hopefully guys you have enjoyed yet another edition of the Hora Blaugrana podcast. I'll be doing improvement to it as much as I can. And I would also like to get some of you involved. You know, maybe some of you could join and be here on the podcast and we could discuss bigger things. Because it's, at the end of the day, all about discussing. And if you know other YouTubers you would like me to collaborate in this, it will also be superb. So yeah, that's going to be everything for right now. And I'll see you in the next one.